Before we even get started, I just want to ask one thing. Are you ready? It's one thing. Who is that? Are you ready? I am. That's what I was asking. Who is that? Oh, it's me. That's my watch page. It looks like I'm coming in loud and clear, which is a good thing. That's the way I like to be around here. All right, so getting back to my question. Are you ready?
All right. I'm going to ask you guys like one more time, all right? Are you ready?
All right, you guys ready? Are you ready for some football? Some fake and scripted football? Well, my name's Jake the asshole, and I'm ready to get this shit started. Oh, yeah. Well, you better get ready. You better hold tight. We got some rigged and scripted staged ass football tonight. Come on, get ready. I mean, get ready. Are you mother freaking titty seeking ready? Are you ready for some rigged and fucking scripted ass football? Some phony fucking WWE football? Yeah, I already told you that my name is Jake the asshole, and I am the world's best rigged NFL content creator. And you know that I am, so you better get ready. Get your titties tight, because I'm about to break down some fucking football stage shit, motherfucker, tonight. Yeah. All right. That's how we get started around here. Anyone who's been here before knows that this is how it works. There's a lot of new people who are showing up. We're going to weed you out. If you're too cool for school, we're going to fine you and we're going to boot you. But you better hold tight, because a lot of people know shit's about to get fun. Shit's about to get funny. Shit's about to get real. It's about to get truthful. And it's about to be, that's it. Just those four things. All right. David Yunt, because I accidentally clicked it, says, yo, 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 wow, got notified and I'm watching it live. So hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Yeah, awesome. I'm glad I accidentally clicked that comment. I got a super chat before I even started, which lets you know that I'm legit. I got a subscriber here. It goes back a long time. He always donates first, and then he tells me it's to get me started. So I got to give him a shout out. What the hell is that? There it is. All right. So PJCNet says, hey, just to get you started as usual. Thanks, buddy. All right. We're going to have a lot of new faces here. So everybody, try to use the comment section wisely and, not just spout off about any old thing. We got a lot of important stuff to talk about here. This is one of the only channels where we break down the fake news, right? So we see the news on TV. The news lately is drama. Excuse me, Damar. Hey, wow, if you rearrange the letters of Damar, you get drama. But that's just a coincidence, like everything else we're going to look at. Completely coincidence, right? Always just another coincidence. So I'm hoping a lot of people have seen my last videos about this. We're going to dive into it even further. The Damar thing. I am the number one fake news breaker downer on YouTube. I am the number one rigged NFL content creator. I'm going to prove it tonight when I destroy this little psyop on screen. Don't you guys love this? I'm here for you, Buttercup. You can cry into my chest. Let's cry about it. We don't know what happened. We don't know if he's going to be okay. Let's stand here and cry. No, we're not going to finish the game. Fuck you. And we're not going to, our friend and brother pretended to pass out. We're not going to cry about it. Yeah, sure. Sure you are. And you're also going to have the Monday Night Football crew ready to read lines about the whole thing. Sometimes you guys don't notice the stuff that I notice. They had the Monday Night Football crew ready to take turns talking about this. Well, I just hope this young man's okay, and we're all just praying for him. And we hear that his family's going to be joining him in the hospital. They're performing CPR. They have all these lines ready to go. They should have been fumbling over themselves. They weren't supposed to have this moment where the Monday Night Football crew has to talk about this tragedy that occurred on the field. No, they had that planned. And they all took turns reading their lines. You know, this is a violent game. It's a violent game that we play out there. And this was bound to happen. And it's just sad that it happened to this young man right here. Oh, amazing acting. Former player who used to play in the rigged football league that comes on the television. So moving. So moving. So, how many of you guys fell for that stupid shit? I know a lot of people did. Jake, I can't believe you're talking about a man who's fighting for his life. How do you know? How do you know he didn't just fake it? That's kind of my go-to when I see something on television. It's bullshit. It's fake. It's scripted. It did not happen. Or whatever they're saying happened is pretty far away from the truth. Now, when it comes to the National Fixed League, I have plenty of proof on my channel that it is indeed fake and phony and fixed. All the games are rigged. All the players are actors pretending to play football. And then they just make sure to have the team less likely to win, who has less money bet on them. They make that team win most of the time. How do I know that? Well, I bet and I win based on who I think they're going to rig it for. Meanwhile, all the idiots who think the games are real are more likely to lose because they're going to bet thinking that the games are won and lost on the field are based on talent. It's convenient that the NFL has this little injury here just before the playoffs. And it's convenient how they have old grandmas who don't watch football being like, I'm praying for Damar Hamlin tonight. He's in our prayers tonight. Thanks, old lady who doesn't watch football, now talking about a football player. The NFL has everybody talking. The NFL is the talk of the town. Funny how I've always broke down the fake news. And then this season I jumped into the rigged NFL content. It blew up. And now rigged NFL and fake news are going to do one of these together. Along with the government overseeing the whole thing. Because remember, the news is controlled and scripted. And it has to go through the government. And the government uses the news to brainwash fools who watch TV and believe the news. And they show NFL games on those major networks where they talk about Damar Hamlin all day long. And they pay a lot of money to show those NFL games. All right, got a couple super chats. I ramble and I don't read what's on the screen. So if you think that I'm like purposely not reading comments, that's not how it works. I talk and I don't look at them. And every once in a while I go back and recap and read comments like this. Okay. Dubsy Daisy says, you are fun. Oh, you have only seen just the beginning tonight, sweetie. We're going to have lots of fun. And it's also going to be fun. All right. Let me tell you, Kevin Jones here says, love the Tuesday media blackout so the writers and producers could craft a new script. Well, this is a very well executed publicity stunt, and it worked quite well. And it's a multi-pronged attack. A multi-layered psychological operation, if you will. So here's the deal. Not only is it a massive ratings grabber, and trust me, ratings are a big business. People are like, Jake, why would the NFL, why would anybody script this? Ratings are massive. If people watch and then they see advertisements, the companies who pay for that advertisement spot pays big money and they want people to watch. So the NFL needs you to watch, and the companies, the TV companies, they need you to watch so that you see those commercials. And if you're not watching TV, well, then you're clicking. Then if you're on the internet, they want your clicks. And then if you click on like a video, well, now you're watching TV just in a smaller format. So some people are like, I don't watch TV, but then they'll still watch YouTube or like a phone video or a video on your phone. It's all TV, right? So they get you somehow or another to click and be part of this story. And then they want you to feel one way or another. So they want you to be praying for the young man. That's their main deal. Get you to buy into this young man suffering from commotio cordis, something that we've never heard of before this. No one ever heard of this. You can lie and say you heard of commotio cordis, but you're a liar. No one ever said commotio cordis ever. I would have remembered. I know the names of shit that sounds weird, like Asperger's disease. The first time I heard that, I never forgot it. Ass and burgers, right? So, commotio cordis. The first time I heard it, YouTube doctor doing a diagnosis from his couch. YouTube doctor sees the game on TV, says it's commotio cordis, followed by every single YouTube doctor also agreeing commotio cordis. Every single doctor on YouTube is like, yeah, that's totally a commotio cordis. I mean, classic example. It rarely ever happens, and it's basically only read about in textbooks. But yes, of course. And then they want you to go the other side and say, no, he was injured from the clot shot. He took the jabberoo. He took the jabberoo. This is just a prop. It's empty, just so you guys know. And it's for inoculating jars to grow mushrooms, not for doing drugs, okay? All right. So before you go off with this whole shit, I'm going to do a whole routine here. We're about to get really funny. But Saul's going to say something funny first. He says, pay this forward to the American Heart Association. They're going to be really busy. Or don't. I'm out. Pay this forward to the American Heart Association. They're going to be really busy. Or don't. All right, I'm out. Thank you, Sal. I appreciate that, buddy. All right, so where was I? Oh, man, I had my routine lined up, and then I got thrown off for a second. Oh, yes, so they want you to go the other way. They want you to be a conspiracy theorist, right? They want you to say that he collapsed because of he took the jab. That's what they want you to do. They want you to say that he took the jab and that's why he collapsed. So guess what's going to happen? I'm going to burst everyone's little bubble. You can pretend to take a jab, right? You can pretend. Do you know what's in here? If there was a clear substance in here and you saw me take it, would you know what's in here? And then if I was to pass out after I pretended to take something, would you say Jake passed out because he took the jab? Would you be that stupid? I would hope that you wouldn't, but a lot of people are. What if this was filled up with a harmless solution, like a saline water solution of some sort that's harmless, right? And then it's like, oh yeah, I saw him personally take it. You don't even know what was in there. Did you do a test of what was inside there? Hello? Reality check, everyone. Did any of you see this man get jabbed? You did not. Did you hear about it on TV? Yeah. You heard about it on TV. Jake, don't you know that all the players are required to get the jab? Yes, I know that the TV says so. But do you think celebrities are really taking the same thing that sheep line up for and take for free? You really think so? You really think that celebrities and athletes are getting the same quality of juice? You really think every single one of them is created equally? Are you that dumb? Hello? Wake up now. Are you really dumb enough to think that they can't just give someone a fake jabberoo with a retracting needle? You're done. You took yours today. Have fun out there on the field. Come back for your next booster. So what if they go into a room with a doctor who gives them a fake jabberoo so it seems like they really did something, and then they trot out there. How do you know what they took? So I take the position that I don't know what he took. I'm not going to assume that since the NFL says that every one of them's jabberooed, that they all took it, and that all the jabberoos were the same ingredients. I tested them personally? No. Did you test them personally? No. Did anyone you know ever test any of them personally? And compared them to a multitude of other jabberoos? These are just the questions that guys like me ask, and that is why I'm the realest, most legit fake news breaker downer on the internet. And it's a comedy routine. This is all for fun. It's a big, giant comedy routine meant for entertainment. So draw your own conclusions from anything I say and do your own research. But typically, my comedy routine is like 99.99% truth. All right. And I probably missed the super chat again. Or maybe I read them all. No, I missed one. Whew. All right. We'll show some video clips soon. We're just getting started here, everyone. All right. Ryan Corcoran with a donation. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. And I got another one. I'm going to scroll back and find it. Here it is. Coming in from Common 2C says, I've been questioning the NFL since the Patriots and Falcons turnaround comeback. Yes. See, back then I was like, oh, the NFL like rigs and scripts these big games, right? And so I used to think that games were rigged more on the refs making bad calls side, and that they maybe only rig games like the Super Bowl to where players will intentionally lose. But I realized last season, actually, every single game, preseason, every little meaningless regulars, every one of them is as fake as a WWE match in that it's predetermined and they're not really playing football. It's pretend football 100% across the board. And now it's leaked into a D1 college ball. If you can bet on it, then it is rigged and scripted. Now, there's parts of a Harlem Globetrotters game where they kind of play real basketball, but it's rigged and scripted. So when you watch a game that kind of looks real, yeah, there's parts where like it'll kind of look real, but it's fake, like a WWE match. They're pretending to fight in the WWE, but the fans know it, and nobody really bets on it. In the NFL, the big scam is lots of people bet lots of money, and they aren't telling people openly that this is pretend football. And it's not common knowledge to the fans in the stands and people betting that they're rigging the games purely to beat the public in most cases. All right. So my main point I want to get at before anyone invades my chat with a bunch of clot shot arguments, here's the deal. Did I take this shit? Hell no. Am I pro VAXX? Hell no. If you research who I am, I've been against it since the beginning. I'm against it to the fighting death. But I'm not going to jump to conclusions and say that a guy who plays rigged and scripted football on television for sure passed out because of one of these. I'm not going to do it. You know why? Because it's on television and football is rigged and scripted. There are a bunch of actors pretending to play football. So why wouldn't he just fall on his butt and pretend to be hurt? For anyone who hasn't seen my last video, I'm going to catch everyone up. And I'm going to give you a break from me ranting, and I'm going to show you my latest video because it's heavy evidence. If you've already seen it, it's only like 5 minutes long. So I'm going to show this video, and we're going to break it all down. And then I got some other evidence we're going to jump into tonight that I don't think anyone's talking about. And I'm going to smash it first before you even maybe have heard of it. All right, here we go. Bang. The Damar Hamlin injury was rigged and scripted. It is literally staged sports entertainment, no different than a storyline in the WWE. If you fell for this gigantic psychological operation and you actually think that this young man is injured, I implore you to watch the rest of this video because I've got some evidence that just might blow your mind. First things first, let's start with the evidence we can actually see. This hit right here does not appear to be all that bad, and we're supposed to believe out of all the hits that happened in high school and college and the pros, this specific hit caused commotio cordis, a medical condition nobody ever heard of until this game happened. Some more clear evidence would be the fact that he falls nice and safely on his butt and then lays down. He doesn't lose consciousness and fall on his face. No, he sits down nice and safely on his butt first and then lays down. Now let's take a closer look at the supposed 9 minutes of CPR and all the players supposedly crying because they're so emotional. What I see here is a big cluster flunk. A bunch of players all huddled around the guy who's supposedly injured, receiving supposed CPR. It looks like they're blocking the view from the fans in the stands. Why is everybody so closely huddled around this guy right here in a big giant cluster flunk? This only makes sense if they're specifically trying to block everyone's view from seeing what's going on. Are you telling me this is proper medical procedure to have every player on the team all standing around as close as possible? And I'm not buying these players crying at all. The more I watch this video clip, the more I see bad acting, like this right here. Do you really believe these guys are crying? I don't see the tears coming out of their faces. What I see are guys pretending to be emotional, like this. Oh man, I'm so sad. Look at me. Look, see how sad I am? I'm gonna cry into another man's chest. You know what helps me when I'm feeling sad? Crying into another man's chest and having his beard touch my head. I mean, look at this clown. And you gotta love the big white dude here. He's like, I'm here for you, Cupcake. You can cry into my chest. Now let's take a look at the symbolism here. Everybody kneeling except for number 33. What are the odds? Nothing to see here, folks. Definitely no Masonic symbolism at all. Purely coincidence. I'm basically like the only guy on the internet who tells you the truth that this is staged and phony. A lot of people took the bait and they think that this guy actually suffered a real injury, commotio cordis, heart attack, cardiac arrest, what have you. And then there's people who think that this is a VAXX injury. Oh no, he passed out because of the VAXX. You're all wrong. It's completely staged. If this was a real injury that happened unexpectedly, you wouldn't see it plastered all over every single mainstream media outlet. The mainstream media is controlled by the government. If this was an unexpected injury, then they would have easily just carted him off really quickly, finished the rest of the game, and then they would have gave it as little attention as possible. So the fact they're giving it as much attention as possible proves it's staged. Not a single one of you saw this guy ever take a VAXX. Not a single one of you ever saw this guy take a booster. So quit making up conspiracy theories, because that's exactly what the mainstream media is expecting you to do and is vilifying you for doing. Assuming the supposed cardiac arrest was caused by commotio cordis is as ridiculous as assuming the supposed cardiac arrest was caused by a VAXX injury. You have zero proof of either. However, we do have proof that there was a charity set up in Damar Hamlin's name before this supposed injury occurred, and it has now received more than $6 million in donations. Yeah, that isn't suspect at all. So let's do a quick recap, shall we? This whole event happened on the television. Okay, that's number one. It's on TV. Number two, nobody ever saw this guy take a VAXX. Nobody has any proof that he suffered any cardiac arrest. What we do have proof of is this hit right here doesn't seem that bad. And then we saw Damar sit safely on his butt and then lay down. And then we saw all of the mainstream media outlets run with this story. They all mentioned how this is sparking conspiracy theories about the VAXX. And also we have $6 million donated to a charity that happened to be set up by this player before he supposedly got injured. If that doesn't prove to you that this whole thing is staged, then you are probably a sheeple or a fanboy, and I cannot help you. If you agree with this video, I ask that you not only like and subscribe, but please share this video and help spread the truth. I'll see you next time. Peace. All right, y'all. So check it out. It's a double cross. They're double crossing you, all right? Oh, I'm crying. See? Right? Look, even the dude with the crosses on his face, like, are you actually really crying, bro? You know we faking it, right? You don't actually have to cry, bro. You just have to pretend to cry. But people get caught up in the moment and their heartstrings. Oh, I hope that man's okay. We have to pray for him. You ever think that the elites who run this world, they get off and they laugh at you for thinking that this is real? They think it's hilarious. And then if you're smart enough to think like, oh, well, no, it's because of the vax. Well, they got you covered for that too. Now they're going to make you look stupid on the news if you say that he passed out because of a VAXX. All your stupid sheeple friends are going to be like, it was commotio cordis. Don't you know anything? I went to medical school and it was commotio cordis. I studied commotio cordis my whole life. My cousin had it in 3rd grade. Fuck you, right? Now everyone's a commotio cordis expert. They knew all about it. Funny, because I never heard it before and never heard the word in my life. I would have remembered. It's just like it's memorable. Like the first time the fake YouTube doctor said it, I was like, motherfucker, it just happened. So fake YouTube doctor who gets like 20 million views, it's like, yes, I could tell when I saw it on TV that it was commotio cordis. It's what happens when you get hit in your chest, like right when your heart is doing like a rhythmic R20 rhythmic thick kind of beat. It's like a very scientific type of thing that happens when someone hits your heart while it's beating at the right specific fucking time. And it's like you hit the lottery in reverse and then you die. It's very scary. So gay. How does anyone buy this? It's cornholio coitus, I tells ya. Yeah, you got cornholio coitus. Yeah. Settle down, Beavis. You might actually get cardiac arrest. All right. Now everyone's making up words in the chat now, I see. Cordis fake collapses. Yes. All right. So here's the deal. They had it all set up and ready to go. That's how you know it wasn't a VAXX injury. So if you're against the VAXX, I'm with you. Me too. But I don't jump to conclusions and say that this fake ass actor football player who gets paid a big salary and signs a non-disclosure agreement, I don't believe for a second that any of this actually really happened. He's just an actor playing out his part. He's the lucky one who gets to be the star of the show. That's the way I see it. And they had it all set up. You know, they have like the segment right after they perform the CPR. They have the Monday Night Football crew ready to talk about it for an hour. And they ran a bunch of TV commercials. Everyone said their lines. And then they had this like fake beef set up with Skip Bayless and every single black man in the history of the world. Skip Bayless said what? He wanted to start the game? Man, that man right there is the worstest man in the world. Oh, come over to my channel and see what I say. You think what Skip said was bad? What about what Jake the asshole says? You're all a bunch of fakes and frauds. Oh no, they don't want to say Jake the asshole's name. They won't ever say this guy's name. No, it's Skip Bayless said they should have finished the game. Worst guy in the history of the world. So they have like a villain set up for you already in the evil white Skip Bayless. He's such an evil white old nasty man for saying they should have finished the game. How dare he? And then Shannon Sharp, I'm not returning to work with Skip Bayless. And they can have all the black guys. I'm Stephen A. Smith, and let me tell you what I think about Skip Bayless. And everyone's like agreeing he's the worst guy. So they have like all these storylines all set up around this miraculously, just as the NFL is going into the playoffs. See, NFL is going into the playoffs, and they really want you to be hooked into this shit. So every single talking head talking about the NFL, every single news outlet, grandmas who don't watch football are praying for Damar. Seems to me the publicity stunt worked like a charm. I've heard ladies talking about this in bars, like I overhear them. They're like, oh, did you hear about that one young kid who's in the hospital right now with a breathing tube in his mouth? It's like, lady, you don't watch football. Shut up. You just watch TV. So they got everyone involved in this. And if you're anti-vax, well, they've got a narrative for you that you're a bad guy and you're stupid because it's commotio cordis, right? So if you're anti-vax, hey, I'm with you, but I'm not falling for this stupid shit. I don't even know if this guy was VAXX'd. Don't even know if he ever took a booster. We're told so by the TV, but we never see any of it. So I don't jump to conclusions and say, this guy passed out because of the Fauci out. That's just stupid. Instead, I say, these guys are faking it, and this is fake bullshit. That's my go-to for basically everything I see on TV. You know, like a guy goes into a building or a school and shoots 33 people. I'll be like, yeah, that sounds fake. I don't even have to look into it. I'm just going to go assume that it's fake, and then they have to prove to me it's real, and they never can. So when I hear about this, look into it for a second, see all the setup TV stations talking about it, everyone talking about it. The NFL has done their job with this publicity stunt, and all they had to do was just have a guy sit down and lay down. So hard to do, wasn't it? Like I said, I could pull off a magic trick right here and be like, look, guys, I'm taking this jabberoo, and it's like a triple extra mega dose with 10 boosters. Yeah, I don't feel so well. Oh. And then you can make up assumptions, but the truth is, I didn't take anything, and then I just pretended to pass out. Just like Damar could have done, because he was told to do. And look, everyone talking about it. So how many people are willing to just look at it logically like, oh, it's a TV show? The news is a TV show. Football is a TV show. They just bleed into each other now. After the football game, we're going to have the news about Damar. Oh, see, football game, blah, 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 right into the news. It's the same thing. And the news is controlled by the government. Follow? So that means football is also controlled by the government. No, Jake, football is real where guys want to win and they practice their whole. No, it's a game played by children. And then in the pros, it's a pretend game played by actors. And the game is beating sports bettors who think it's real. That's the game. And distracting you at the same time. Distract you. Keep you thinking that this shit matters. Rooting. Watching the TV. Oh, I'm praying for them. You know how many people are going to watch if the Bills and the Bengals were to meet each other in the playoffs? Bills and Bengals meet each other in the playoffs. Oh, huge ratings. And I think they're wanting to change the rules and say that the games are going to be played in neutral sites and shit. All this other stuff. Man, it can get crazy. And of course, it's all set up. All right. So I'm going to go into another NFL story that you might not have heard of yet, but I caught wind of this one just yesterday or earlier today, maybe. And automatically, I knew it was bullshit. So let me show you another story you might hear soon. Football as well. Okay. So Peyton Hillis, former running back in the NFL. He had one amazing season where he kept leaping over people. He was like jumping 10 feet in the air over guys who just kept like diving at his feet so he could conveniently jump over them. All right, Peyton Hillis. There we go.
We're not even a full week into 2023, and we already have another sad story to bring you from the NFL world. Another former NFL player is having medical issues, and that is Peyton Hillis. This is after he jumped into the ocean to save his own kids from drowning. He has had complications from that, and now he's in critical condition in the hospital. Former Brown star Peyton Hillis in critical condition after saving his own kids from drowning. And Peyton Hillis, listen, he had a bright star for one season. You had one great season with the Browns and ended up on the cover of Madden and everything like that. Didn't have as much success throughout the rest of his career, but if you were watching the NFL a decade ago, you probably remember Peyton Hillis, and now he's fighting for his life after saving his own kids. Peyton Hillis, the former Cleveland Browns star running back who landed on the cover of Madden 12 EA Sports, is reportedly unconscious and in critical condition after saving his children from drowning in Florida. And we do actually have some images that they've shown from that, some people that captured the moment where the paramedics were on the beach.
Homies, what do we see? What do we see? What do we see on the screen? Bingo. Look at that. Remember how the Buffalo Bills guy Neil was the only one who wasn't kneeling in the shot I showed you earlier? Everyone was kneeling except for number 33, who coincidentally has the last name Neil. So now we have Peyton Hillis, and they're conveniently showing his 33 jersey when he was on the Giants, I guess, here. So I remember when he was on the Browns, so I didn't even remember when he played for the Giants. So because his career basically was hot for one season. He was on the Madden cover. So this guy was on the cover of Madden football game, was like the best running back in the league for one season, and then he just kind of fell off the map. And so here he is, it says number 33. So here's the first thing when it didn't jive with me, and it seemed like just complete bullshit. Not just the 33 thing, but logically, he's in critical condition after saving his kids from drowning. He is in critical condition after saving his kids, plural, from drowning. So you had more than one kid drowning at the same time, and you saved them both, but you put yourself in critical condition while doing so, but the kids who are almost drowned, they aren't in critical condition. That's a weird story. Let's hear more about this weird story that involves a guy who also wore number 33, who happened to, at this same time we're talking about Damar, save his kids from drowning, and now he's in critical condition. What a story. How unfortunate for the NFL to have round-the-clock coverage of the NFL.
And things like that. Hospitalized Peyton Hillis is doing better after he saved his kids from drowning. University of Arkansas football team said Friday that former Razorback star and ex-NFL running back Peyton Hillis is doing better as he remains hospitalized. Now, he's still unconscious. He's still in the ICU, but that's the quote, that he's doing better. Thinking about our man Peyton Hillis, encouraged to learn he's doing better after his heroic act.
Okay, what is this, like a shot from Baywatch? Like, did they just go into like image results Baywatch and just like throw something on the screen? Like, come on, like that's TMZ and shit like that. Like, this is totally made for TV drama. All we see is like, oh yeah, here's a shot. They went swimming in the ocean in December, right? And both of his kids started drowning at the same exact time. You know, like one was drowning and then the other one ran in and started drowning too. And then he was like, holy shit, I got to save my kids. I'm going to get out there and save my kids. And then he gets one, but then he starts swallowing water. Oh, no, I got to save the other one. And then he saves the other one. Oh, I got to get to shore, but I'm almost about to die. And he gets to shore and he collapses. And they're like, holy fuck, this guy's in critical condition, but at least he saved the kids. What a hero. What a hero. Wow. Right after the Damar thing. Holy shit. Crazy. And he wore number 33 too. Whoa. Shit. Titty. What? I know.
Saving his family. And you can see these emergency vehicles out there. Former star Peyton Hillis received medical attention after saving his two kids from drowning. There's really no details about it, whether they got caught up in some kind of rip current or something like that. No, not sure. But Peyton Hillis had to go in there and have to save his kids. And in the process, obviously, you know, something happened to him as well. I imagine that he got some water in his lungs. Something like that would be my guess. Dramatic photos from the incident show lifeguards and medics tending to Willis. I don't know who Willis is. It's Peyton Hillis. Other photos show lifeguard trucks near the shore with people surrounding a stretcher carrying Hillis. A helicopter and ambulances eventually arrived to the scene, with the chopper landing on the road before transporting Hillis to a local hospital. He reportedly remains unconscious and in the ICU after saving his two kids from drowning at the beach. Certainly a very heroic act. Obviously, you would imagine anyone would do that for their children if they saw their kids in that position. But I can't tell you the number of times where I've heard of people going in there to save their kids and they end up dying along with them just because, you know, they get overwhelmed trying to carry a body, trying to swim with a body, whatever it is. So prayers and thoughts to Peyton Hillis, his entire family. What a scary situation to be in, sitting there, you know, watching something bad about to happen to your kids, and a really heroic act to get them out of there. And we can only hope that he continues to do better.
So that guy gets a ton of views, right? Talking about this stuff, like breaking it down, but he's just going with what the mainstream media says. So he's just a parrot. So they have a lot of these guys, they just literally say what came on TV. Oh, he saved his kids. I saw a picture on TMZ, a still shot. He saved his kids. He saved them. Imagine both your kids drowning at the same time. Wouldn't you try and save them? Sure you would. And that's what he did, because he's a hero, just like you. You're everyone who saves your heroes. Can you believe both his kids? What kind of idiot goes to the ocean and lets both your kids start drowning? Where were you, Dad? How did you let your kids get out of your sight, Dad? Where was Dad when the kid, Like, how small were these kids? And did you teach them to swim beforehand? Like, I want to know what really went on here, Peyton. Let's see, Peyton, did you teach your kids to swim when they were real young? Because if you're going to go to the ocean and then walk away and leave your kids unattended, which I guess you did, well, then it's your fault and you're not a hero, you piece of shit. Yes, I said he's a piece of shit because I know the whole thing's fake. The whole thing's fake. But for dramatic effect, I'm going to vilify him for not being a good dad. He should have been watching his kids. Any good parent would never let both their one child sneaking away, a problem child sneaking away and jumping into the ocean while you weren't looking real quick, like that's one thing. But both your kids drown at the same time. That's you being a bad parent. I don't care what anyone says. You got two kids. Both of them can't swim very well, and you go to the ocean and both of them start drowning same time. The only excuse is if a tidal wave came and wiped them out, and then it'd be like, oh, okay, well, a tidal wave came and fucking. Other than that, he's a bad dad. But I'm not even so much suggesting that as that it's just fake. It's just fake. It's all fake. Q and Fee in the house. I saw your latest video, Q and Fee. Good job, Q. All right. So, I'm thinking Buffalo, Cincinnati, if they meet up in the playoffs, it's going to be big business for the NFL. All right, guys. So, the NFL's rigged and scripted, and today I'm going to talk about some of the games I think that's going to happen, and I'll even give you guys some free picks. And since I figured out the games are rigged, I've been starting to win. I don't win all the games. I can't win them all. I don't know the script. I'm not the script writer. I'm not the booker of WWE, so I can't tell you who wins the Royal Rumble or how it all goes down. But what I can tell you is that the NFL likes to pull the rug out from underneath the public as far as betting is concerned. And the only way they can do that is by having teams win who you aren't expecting to win, or teams cover who you aren't expecting to cover. So if they can bait you in to taking a team with a deceptive spread, then they can rig the game accordingly so that the team with less money wins and the team with more money loses, and then they take that more money and they pay the team with less money bet, and then the leftover is all profit. And so they have to do that in order to make the whole thing go round and work. And that's why all the states are jumping on board, is because it's guaranteed money. They're going to script the games to beat the public. So before anyone jumps on board with a Buffalo Bills are going to win the Super Bowl prediction, they might be baiting you into taking Buffalo. And I'll say that because I had a knee-jerk reaction to take Buffalo on a future bet. So I was like, oh, $20 on Buffalo to win the Super Bowl, and I get 4 times my money. Okay, I'll try that. And then I immediately was like, oh, shit. They could rig it to where everyone bets Buffalo because they're the sentimental favorite, and then totally just have Buffalo lose, and everyone be like, oh, that's so sad. And then they just harvest your money and your soul. You prayed that the young man would pull through, and then Buffalo's in the big game, and then Buffalo loses. Oh, and they were the sentimental favorite that everyone bet on. Ooh, so don't be fooled by all this sentimental Buffalo shit into thinking that for sure it ends on a storybook Buffalo Super Bowl win. My mind went there, and then I immediately talked myself out of it and said, whoa, Buffalo goes to the Super Bowl. They're going to get bet. They're going to get bet a lot for this Hamlin shit. So it would make sense that they would go the other way. All right. So I'll show you guys my picks this week, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to tell me some of them are wrong and stupid, and that's fine. But I started out with a win today. I said since that Kansas City was going to cover. So I'll show you guys my picks. And you can bet at your own risk. If you lose on my picks, that's on you. And if you win on my picks, that's on you. And if you don't bet my picks, that's on you. So I always put out that disclaimer that I don't know what's going to happen, but here's my picks. So I started the day with a win on the Chiefs. All right. And then in the Jaguars-Titans game, I'm thinking Jags cover the spread. And here is why I think Jags cover the spread. I think they're trying to push Lady Boy Trevor Lawrence, and they're going to try and make the Jaguars out like a legit playoff team so that some people are actually willing to put money on them in the next round. I think they're just going to try and make them look good. I haven't even checked the score. They might be getting their ass beat right now. Let me check the score. Okay, they're down 3 points. With the spread, they're down like 9.5. Anyway, I think they'll come back and pull it out. And if they don't, then I'm 1-1 on the day. So I took the Chiefs and won that one. I'm on the Jags. Ravens +9 because I feel like the public, nobody wants to bet the Ravens. So I feel like Ravens can lose by 7 or 8 and still I can cover. So I took the Ravens just to fade the public. Again, I don't pick based on who's better. There's no such thing as better. They're pro wrestlers pretending to play football. Let me repeat. I don't make any of these picks on who's better. I make picks based on money and who I think that they're going to try and screw over, who I think they're going to rig it for. So I'm going with the Saints over who the hell are they even playing? I have to look up the games. I don't watch the games either. Oh, the Saints are playing the Panthers. So I think the Saints cover that number at home. All right. Let's see. Steelers on the money line. This one's tricky. So the Steelers were like 2-point favorites, maybe 2.5, depending where you're betting and whatnot. So I'm taking Steelers on the money line. I don't usually bet like big money line favorites. I always bet with the spread. But if a spread is like 1.5 or 2, 2.5, I don't like to get clipped by a point. So I feel like tomorrow Steelers win. So I just took Steelers straight up money line. I think the Colts cover at home against the Texans in a game that not that many people are going to bet on. So I feel like that's one of the games hardly anyone's really going to be caring about or betting on. So I feel like Colts close out the win at home. I like the Bears to pull out a cover. They've been getting their ass beat. And so I think it makes sense for them to finally get a cover. Keep a game close, get a cover. What else? I got Jets. I bought a 0.5 point. So I feel like the Dolphins are going to win by like 1 or 2. And so I thought they were trying to clip me with a Jets spread of 3. And I don't like getting clipped by a point or a 0.5 point or any of that shit. So I took the Jets with 3, and then I bought a 0.5 point. So I have Jets plus 3.5. I kind of feel like the Dolphins are going to win maybe by 1 point. So I figure maybe if the Dolphins win by 3 exactly and they're trying to get people to push or shit like that, I don't know. So I just bought an extra 0.5 point on that game, but I feel like that one's going to be razor close. The Falcons, I feel like no one's going to take the Falcons because everyone's going to take Brady and the Bucks, but Brady and the Bucks are already in the playoffs no matter what. And so they're not really like playing for much. So I feel like this is one where they're just going to, they have the Falcons as a -4 and they're trying to get everybody to jump on the Bucks. And I think this is them telling you what's really going to happen is that the Falcons are going to win and are going to cover. And so they're just basically trying to get everyone to jump on Brady and the Bucks here, I think. Then I got Patriots to most likely they'll lose to the Bills, but I think maybe they'll keep it close and cover. So I think the Bills beat the Patriots. If I had gun to my head, I think Bills will win the game, but I think it'll be close. Patriots cover. So if the Bills just squeak out a win by a field goal, I'll easily cover that one. So I'm keeping the door open for a Patriots win outright, or at least just covering a touchdown and a half. I can lose by a touchdown, still win by a half point. All right, I got Cardinals plus 14. Just a lot of points. I figure a lot of people aren't going to bet the Cardinals, so I took the Cardinals with 14. Same deal, Commanders. No one's going to be on the Commanders, so I took the Commanders as a team that I figure no one's going to pick. I have Seahawks covering the spread at home. Yeah, a lot of people are saying Seahawks are going to lose, which is going to set up a Lions-Packers showdown in the late game. I say Seahawks win and cover the spread. Lions are then eliminated. Every Seahawks fan has to watch the game and then root for the Lions to then beat the Packers. I say I'll get to that game in a minute. Seahawks, yeah, win and cover. And Broncos, I think win and cover. I think they're trying to bait people into taking. Who the fuck are they even playing? They're playing the Chargers. Yeah, the Chargers are already in the playoffs, so I think that they're trying to get the public to bet the Chargers here. So they're trying to really entice you to take points and the Chargers. So it wouldn't surprise me if, since the Chargers are already in the playoffs, that they just cruise through this and lose by a touchdown or more. So I like the Broncos to cover that spread, even though the Broncos look like they're a trash team. In the final week, I think Vegas is letting you know the Broncos are going to win, and they want you to go the other way. Okay, I think the Eagles cover this week. The Eagles haven't covered the last couple spreads, so I think that this final week they're making the spread really big because they want you to bet against the Eagles. They want you to think that the Eagles aren't going to smash a team. So I think that they're going to make the Eagles look extra strong. Eagles win big, cover that big number. So I think they're trying to entice the public into betting against the Eagles here. And I looked at the money, and the money seems to be all on the Giants. That's what the websites are telling me, is that the money's on the Giants. So I'm going Eagles to cover that big number. Final game, I think that the Packers do pull out a slight victory, but the Lions cover. So I think Packers win by maybe 1, 2, 3 points, and the Lions cover the spread. So those are my picks. And yes, if you guys are saying, oh, this team sucks or this team's not as good as that, remember, guys, they're pro wrestlers. It's all make-believe. Whatever they feel like having happen on the final game of the year so that they can make money off the public. Now, they don't take every game from the public, so I don't base every single one of my picks on fading the public, because I do know in some cases they are going to throw a bone to the public. So I try and pick the ones I feel most strongly about, fading the public money. And then there's some storylines where I'll actually pick the favorite and expect it to play out the way that you would think it would if the games were real. But for the most part, the games are rigged to beat sports bettors. That's why I take teams that nobody wants to take. And I got a lot of shit for taking the Chiefs today by Raider people. And I was right today. All right. So Retro Bill says, I wonder if betting on the NFL takes more skill than it does to play. No, you just really have to look at the spreads and keep up with the storylines, and then keep up with what happened last week. So you don't even have to watch the games. I can look at the scores last week, or even just watch a little bit of highlights and see who looked bad last week. And that's what's fresh in everyone's mind. And so they can easily have a team who looked bad last week look much better this week, or a team who looked good last week look like shit in the final week because they're already in the playoffs and they don't really need to win. So expect some shenanigans and some shit to go down tomorrow where teams that you would figure would win don't, because it's pretend football. So like I said, I don't base my picks off like a team being sucky or good, because it's literally like if they tell Aaron Rodgers to lay down and lose to the Lions, then he will. If they give him the green light and say we need you to make the Lions look good, but in the last minute we're going to give you the win, but the Lions are going to cover the spread, then that's what they'll have happen. So whatever the NFL wants to have happen in these games, that's what they tell the players to do, and then the players do it. Just like a script is written for a movie, and then the actors act out the script. So the NFL is a movie. The NFL is a movie that is shot in front of a live audience, but it is a movie shot for television, right? It's 3 hours. It's a long movie. So in this case, it's a movie now that has your heartstrings attached to it, because this kid is supposedly in the hospital fighting for his life and stuff like that. So it's a very dramatic movie. Drama, Damar, funny, Damar and drama. You can rearrange Damar and end up with drama. Funny how that worked. Like I said, it's a big made-for-TV movie. The NFL is the WWE, and they're both in the same business, and the business is show business. And the news is rigged and scripted. They're in the same business. It's show business. They want you to watch and be distracted and believe in bullshit. The NFL is the bread and circus of the world. It is meant to distract you from how badly you're getting screwed by the elites who run this place. They want you to be more concerned with whether Jefferson's going to score a touchdown than our president not really being actually in charge, or all the presidential puppets being controlled. All of them. Every one of them. They don't want you to think about how badly you're being screwed. And so you might think, screw politics. I'm going to put on the football game, because the football game will keep me entertained and take my mind off how bad I'm being screwed. They're screwing you in the football game too. If you think you're going to avoid being screwed or think about being screwed by watching a football game to take yourself away from reality, think again. It's rigged and scripted bullshit. So if your team is in the playoffs and you consider yourself a fan, you're a fan of a rigged and crooked product that deceives people. Right? So if you let yourself get emotional and you yell and scream at the TV, and you still root and cheer and you wear gear and stuff like that, well, they basically made you into a fanboy. So if you're still watching and you don't understand that the games are all pretend and rigged and scripted, those guys don't care about you. It shouldn't have any bearing on your life. They're grown men playing a damn child's game, distracting you from bigger, more important things in the world. If that doesn't bother you and you still go buy a jersey and put on another man's name on your back and still watch and root and all that shit, well, then you're part of the problem. So I don't have much respect for fanboys who want to tell me that they know it's rigged, but they still like to watch, and they're still a fan, and they still go to the games, and they still buy the gear and wear it and all that shit. Like, it's weird, man. Once I found out it was rigged, I stopped being an actual fan. I can't be like, oh, my team won the pretend Super Bowl. Whoop-de-doo. I was more excited when my favorite wrestler would win a title, and I knew wrestling was fake when I was a teenager, and when I used to watch pro wrestling. I knew the matches were fake, but they weren't. I wasn't losing my money, and they weren't deceiving me, because I knew it was a pretend fight. So I watched it specifically. I would watch wrestling for entertainment, and my heart was never on the line. Whereas I was a Miami Dolphins fan until I found out the games were rigged, and my heart used to be on the line. I was emotional. I would yell and scream at the TV. I was so angry that Brady would always win. The Patriots would always win the division every year. And so I used to actually be very diehard, emotional fanboy. And now I'm the number one guy in the world who calls out the NFL as being fake and rigged and scripted. As far as the numbers go, if you look at me and the numbers I get on my shorts and my videos lately versus anyone else, like, I'm the only one telling you that they're totally lying. They're playing pretend football. They're beating sports bettors with predetermined games. They are lying about this Damar Hamlin thing. It's all completely rigged and staged. There's not a lot of people taking that stance and being public with it. And so I'm taking that stance and being public with it because that's the truth. And that's what I do on this channel and have done for a long time. So this channel isn't a football channel. This channel is a channel about the truth. And I'll tell you how politics are rigged and scripted. I'll tell you about how space travel is rigged and scripted and staged. I'll tell you how about the news is rigged and scripted and staged. So anything that's got fake shootings as well. A lot of psychological operations going on in the world, and a lot of it designed to control your mind, make you think and feel a certain way. And once you figure out that you live inside of a movie with a bunch of actors playing a big part, all of them on TV, of course, but a bunch of people playing a big part, once you figure out the world is a stage, you will start to be able to see through these charades a lot easier. You'll notice the players aren't really crying real tears. You'll notice the media is all set up and ready to go and run with these psychological operations. If this Damar Hamlin injury was legitimate and happened unexpectedly, they would have carted him off as fast as possible, finished the game, and not talked about it very much on the news. As little media attention as possible. Let me say that again. If the Damar injury was legitimate, whether it was VAXX related or commotio cordis related, if it was legitimate, they would have stuck him in the ambulance and got him out of there as quick as possible and then finished the game. Let's hope that no one noticed that. That's what they would have did. The reason that they drew it out so damn long is to get everyone's attention while still blocking him from your attention. Don't look. We're doing CPR. You can't see. Stare at these guys fake crying. Don't look, we're blocking you. You can't see what's going on, but trust us. 10, 20 minutes of CPR. Yeah, he should be a brain dead potato, but hopefully, come on. And they have all the Monday night crew ready to talk. ABC, NBC, Fox, every single damn news media outlet, and grandmas who don't watch football, everyone talking. It was all set up. It was staged. It was a publicity stunt. If you got duped by it, accept it, learn from it, and move on, and don't let it happen to you again. It's easier to dupe people than it is to explain to them that they have been duped. It's what we do around here. We nail bullshit to the wall with a truth hammer. I just made that up. Oh, look, guys, we got a sheep here. We got a sheep. He's gonna tell me how it is. Does this guy actually believe everything is fake? I didn't say everything is fake. I specifically name the things that I talk about as being fake, but I didn't say like, oh, my pinky fingernail is fake. It's included within everything. Right? All pinky fingernails must therefore be fake because that would be a part of everything. So no, I never said everything, idiot. Now get out of here, you stupid sheep ass punk. Get lost. Makaroo says he's gonna learn one day. You're all gonna learn one day. Or maybe you won't. Those are the only two options I see, is that you will learn or you will not. All right, Misanthropic says, does this guy actually believe everything he's told? Of course he does. That's why he showed up here and said that. Here's the thing, is they tricked a lot of people to be like, it was the VAXX that made him go down. I know for a fact. because all players have to take it. You never saw him take nothing. How do you know what he took? Did you see him take it? Did you analyze the ingredients that he took before he took it and then compare it to other jab ingredients and do a cross comparison and be like, oh yes, it was equal amounts of the same ingredients as this one? Did you? No, you didn't. So since nobody ever saw this guy ever actually take this. Oh shit, I forgot to take down my pinned comment. I'm gonna take that down now. So stream starts at 5. Yes, we know that. Unpinned message. All right. There, that's out of the way. Oh yeah. So you never saw the guy take this. You never saw him take it. The TV tells you, so you can assume, and it might fit your agenda, your anti-VAXX agenda to say that he's VAXX injured. But the truth is, all you saw was a guy sit down on his butt and lay down. You never saw him take nothing. You don't know what they take. They might take a harmless saline solution and then get checkmarked as being VAXX. How would you know? You wouldn't. So I like to be the guy that points out all of that and assume that if they could lie, and if it benefits them, then that's what they're probably doing. All right. Wow, I think this might be like the most people I've ever had watching me at once, so I guess I titled this video correctly at the right time. 739 people. If you're new here, if you're old here, if you're middle-aged here, can you hit the thumbs up button right now so that we can tell Al Gore and his rhythm how badass we are? Al Gore created the Al Gore rhythm, and so what we need to do is hit the thumbs up to make the rhythm really good and fresh and funky, so that Al Gore approves. That's how it works. I went to school once, so I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about. I paid attention once in science class. I think I understand how it works. Man, bear, pig, indeed. All right. Yes. It's good for the body, good for the soul if you give me a thumbs up. All right. Okay, let's go to the comment section. I've been ignoring you guys for long enough, so I guess we'll get to the comment section here. Got a super chat that came in that I wasn't paying attention. I missed. Hold on, let me go back and rustle up that super chat. Here we go. Paul Halo Cat. I used to call him Hollow Quat. Paul Hollow Quat, because his quat is so hollow. No, his name is Paul Halo Cat. And he says, let's all support Jake because we are in the house. Yeah, you're in the house. So support Jake. Makes sense to me. All right. I've been seeing a lot of this one too. People coming in with the like, oh, I bet you think that the earth is flat too. Yeah, actually, I started this channel by questioning the shape of the earth. And so I don't consider myself a traditional flat earther. I consider myself a guy that knows we don't live on a spinning globe in fake ass outer space. But I don't subscribe to the fake flat earth model that they have set up to intercept newbies. You see, I'm too smart for that too. So once you figure out Earth isn't a globe, they have this circle map and a bunch of goons and agents ready to intercept you into a flat Earth cult. So you have to not fall for that. And then you have to try and figure out what the hell this place actually is while knowing that it's not a globe. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm trying to figure out what this place actually is. And I can tell you, it's really hard to figure out. It's a magical place where the data makes sense locally, But it doesn't match up to other people's data when you really try and match up the data across the board, triangulate, let's like, for instance, angles to the sun or a star. If you think you can go out and look at the sun and someone across the world can go out and look at the same sun and that those angles are going to triangulate right back to the same place, well, you are sadly mistaken. You'll find out that there's a lot of shit going on that doesn't make any sense. And they've been lying about everything, including the world you live in. So I come from a stance that I know the earth is not a globe, but I don't know how big it is or how far it goes or what shape it is. All I can tell you is what they tell us is a lie. That I know. And if you've been following along for as many years as some people have, you'll know we've went over it and proved that into oblivion. And one thing I can't tell you is what the hell this place is. Still trying to figure it out. This guy helps me figure it out, actually, and has helped me figure out this place is magical and doesn't make sense. His name is Q&F, so he's got a lot of videos which will explain why the globe model doesn't work. And he also has a lot of videos explaining why the traditional circle flat earth model doesn't work. So a lot of people get confused when they watch Q&F's videos. They're like, wait, are you a globe guy? Are you a flat earth guy? And so he basically proves that all these maps and models that everyone's trying to use and say is correct, that basically all of them fall apart when you really start to look at it. So Q&F says I have a new modeling vid coming up. Actually, 2 vids. One for the retard globe and one for the circling sun. So yeah, Q&F has destroyed basically every flat earth shill and agent who waved around a phony map. And between the two of us, we have got together and talked about this and done a few different streams. And I came to the conclusion that I can't figure it out because Q&F has basically taken away the possibilities that I had thought of already and showed me that those don't work. And now I'm stuck not knowing what this place is, but I know what it's not. So I'm in a position where I can't tell you what the hell this place is, but I can tell you what it's not. Flix Plays says, you guys are a bunch of cornballs. It might seem that way if you've never been here before, but we get into a lot of deep shit over here. So the next time a crazy guy goes into a building and kills, I don't know, 33 people with an AR, I'll be the one to tell you how it's rigged and scripted and fake. So basically, any type of big world event, any type of big fake news that goes down, I'm there to break down how it's fake. And I get away with it because it's a big comedy routine that I'm doing. So it's all for entertainment and comedy. And since I tell like a few jokes here and there, and I do impressions and voices and shit, Al Gore and his rhythm, they just figure that I'm just doing a comedy routine and being funny. They can't quite figure out that I'm actually telling people the truth and busting the government's balls and the most powerful sports organization in the world. They don't quite understand it. They think that I'm just a funny guy doing a funny routine, I guess. I agree with this one, but I would say that it happened as far as a psychological operation is concerned. So they pulled a psychological operation with George Floyd, all right, and they got the public to think that a policeman kneeled on his head, right, and that he couldn't breathe. When in reality, that was a response to real protests breaking out across the nation because they locked us down and had businesses shut down. So when businesses after 2-3 weeks were like, we need to open, we can't stay closed, the government's like, no, you can't reopen yet. People started to protest. So there were protests that were breaking out across the country where business owners alike were all joining hands. People who were white and conservative and people who were liberal were like, yeah, we need to get back to work and shit. And then they were like, oh, George Floyd. And then it was like an entire different group of people protesting an entire different thing. See how that works? So George Floyd was a counter-protest movement to people protesting for real that their business was shut down and they aren't being allowed to reopen. That's what happened. So they got everyone to look in another direction at something else. And everyone forgot that the protests against the government was going on, and they were like, oh, protests because of Black Lives Matter and George Floyd. See? So they hijacked the protest, and they were like, look, this is what you're protesting over, this black man who got kneeled on. See? I'm the only guy who ever broke that down. You know how I know? I was at the real protests. People were really mad at the government for the scamdemic. They were really mad that their businesses got tanked with and their lives got tanked with. So people were coming out on the streets and putting together grassroots protests, and they didn't want that shit getting out there. So they had a police officer pretend kneel on a black man's head for pretend, and got everyone who didn't really care about their business being shut down or being lied to about the scamdemic. They got all those stupid people to protest for something entirely different. So then everything on the news is protest George Floyd protest, not protest over your business being shut down. Go look at the timeline and look at what was going on just before that happened. And I know because I was at one of the big ones. And here in Sacramento, like 2,000 people showed up in front of the Capitol building. And it was a partially staged looking event. Once I got there, I was like, oh, it's like a real protest, but also like meant to gain info and see what kind of react. So basically what happened was some of the big protests were starting to be manipulated. So for instance, you would have controlled opposition channels, YouTube channels like All Gas, No Brakes showing up and trying to make the whole thing look stupid. People protesting, they're mad about the scamdemic, they're mad about their business, they're mad about the masks and shit. And so a channel like All Gas, No Brakes shows up, makes everyone look like they're idiot Trump followers and stupid. So I was in a video that got like 5 million views on the All Gas No Brakes channel at that protest. And he took my interview and he fucking cut it up in a way to try and make me look like I'm some dumb idiot, right? So I did an entire George Carlin routine for him and explained everything for him. And he just took my interview and clipped it up and clipped it up and clipped it up until what's left is a doctored piece of footage. So if you guys have ever heard of All Gas, No Brakes or Andrew from Channel 5, yeah, he basically is a stooge who will basically push the mainstream narrative. And people buy it by the millions. Oh, you got put in timeout for questioning the flat earth? Yeah, that'll happen around here. We got a lot of diehards who know for a fact that the earth isn't a globe. So there's a lot of people here who know Earth isn't a globe, and they have been putting up with dumb questions for their last like 7-8 years of their life. And so we've heard everything from like, well, what about the planets? They're all round. So how can the planets be round and you not live on a round thing? Like we've heard all the dumb shit and we've had to answer it over and over again. And so, yeah, I don't like to answer those questions. And there are people who watch me who might be armed with a wrench, who might think that you're just a troll trying to waste time or whatever. So if you have questions, there's been a lot of content created about why the earth isn't a ball. So we can't get into all that tonight. But if you do want to look into it, there's a ton of content out there on why the earth is not a spinning ball. You can just start with looking into NASA's fake space missions to the moon. Right? That's where I always tell people to start with this. Start with this. Start with this. All right, I know we got a lot of new people here, so I'm going to do a quick little fake space presentation for anybody who is super new here to the channel. And remember, the government controls TV and the government lies. The government lies, the TV lies. The government controls what's on TV. The TV was made as a weapon to brainwash you. Then sell you stuff. Brainwash you first, sell you stuff second. Keep you entertained way later. Oh, I want the damn photo. Damn it. Hold on, let me pull this photo onto my desktop and try and pull it up. All right. Sorry for the wait. Here we go. I needed to get this up on screen. I need it to be nice and big. All right. Do you see what we're looking at? Do you guys see what we're even fucking looking at? That's what they say that they went to the moon in 1969. That's supposed to be man walking on the moon. 1969. They can't go back right now. Can't go back right now. But they could go back then. Let me tell you, they could go back then, no problem. No problem at all, they could go back then. But they can't go now. Jen No Fear says, yay, love me some vintage Jake. First time back in a while, working all the time. Good to see you. Yeah, we're going to do some vintage Jake the Asshole, or as some remember, Flat Earth the Asshole, right here and right now. Thank you for the donation. So, what I like to say is that this thing right here sort of resembles a homeless tweaker's shelter. Now, you in the audience, do you think this looks like a well-built spacecraft that landed on the moon? Or does it look more like a homeless tweaker shelter? I'll let you guys decide in the chat. Say that it looks more like a spacecraft or that it looks more like a homeless tweaker shelter in the chat. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll go ahead and do some zoom ins. We'll just do a little zoom in here. Look at this. The fuck is this thing? Look at this. Have you guys ever looked at this real close? A lot of you who believe in space travel out there, you think people walked on the moon. Have you ever looked at this damn thing? That looks like some tinfoil. What's that? What is that thing in the middle? Is that like a speaker system, like an intercom speaker system? Come back, guys. It's time for lunch. We're about to eat lunch on the moon. You can come back now, Neil and Buzz. We're about to eat lunch on the moon. Right? So, this thing looks like it's made out of some cardboard boxes, some curtain rods, and some tarps, and some scotch tape, and some tinfoil. But there's people who will tell me I'm stupid for thinking that space is fake. I must be a stupid flat earther because I think that they never went to the moon and that piece of shit. So they really want you to believe that that lunar module is capable of landing on the moon and getting back. But they can't do it now. You guys know what their excuse is why they can't go back to the moon? My hardcore audience knows what the excuse is. Do you guys know why they can't go back to the moon? Come on, one of my hardcores. Why can't they go back to the moon? Let us know right here what the official NASA answer is. Not the conspiracy answer. What's the official NASA answer for why they can't go back to the moon? I know someone knows it. somebody has to know why they can't go back to the moon and what the official NASA answer is. I was waiting for it. Here we go. They destroyed the technology. That's right. They lost and destroyed it. They lost and destroyed the technology, and it's a painful process to build it back up again. So painful that they just haven't been able to do it. So, cars, that technology improves. Your phone, holy shit, a phone in 1969 versus this phone in my hand, holy shit, like lightning speed, crazy super mega computer in my hand compared to a 1969 phone, right? So we're to believe in 1969 they made it to the moon, but in 2023, well, they can fly a rocket there without people, but it's too dangerous. We don't know how to put the people back on there anymore. Okay, sure. And I still get called a crazy flat earther for just pointing out the obvious, that the government never went to the moon and they're lying. So why not consider your whole world a lie? This is how it starts. You realize they never went to space. Then you realize there is no space like they tell you. And then everything you look at in the sky, you have to be like, well, what the hell is that? So when I look at the sun, I don't see it as a big, gigantic fireball. I don't see the earth as a little tiny spinning ball shooting around, because I realized they lied to me about space and I believed it my whole life. So once I figured out they lied about the moon, then I just jump off completely. I'm like, nope, now I'm going to do my own investigation. I'm going to figure it out for myself. And screw what the TV says or any news agency or any politician says. I'm going to figure it out myself. And it's hard to figure things out for yourself because we're just people. We just get on the internet, search shit. But even with a quick internet search, you can find this photo and see that it's bullshit. Now, there are people out there who will say that I am an idiot and that is a wonderful spaceship. And yes, they went to the moon. And they have to actually believe that in their heart and soul, or they just have to keep saying that out of cognitive dissonance. I don't know. But there's people who have made videos saying I'm wrong and I'm an idiot and that piece of shit right there did in fact land on the moon. So people do exist who see this and still say, yep, looks like a wonderful, awesome spacecraft. And yes, they went. All right, Mike B says, Jake, I also like when the astronauts would not swear on the Bible that they walked on the moon. Classic. Oh, yeah, those were some good videos when they confronted the astronauts and all of them acted out like in violence, pretty much. You want me to swear on a Bible? I'm going to physically assault you. Yeah. Oh, I got another super chat that I missed from Retro Bill. What is that? Trying to find it right now, Bill. Saw that the super chat rolled by. I'm trying to go back and find it. Fuck, there's a lot of people here today. Here we go. Got it. So Bill says, holy crap, that thing looks like someone dropped the washer and dryer in my hot tub. Oh, I mean, the more you zoom in on it, the faker it looks. That's like one of my main go-tos. Is my dad thought like that I was just so crazy until I actually sat him down and made him look at this shit on a big screen TV, and his mouth opened and he's like, that thing doesn't look like it could leave the parking lot. But then he washed it out of his mind like 6 months later and pretended that he doesn't remember. So sheep will look at this and admit that it looks like crap. That seems weird, but then they'll just forget. They'll conveniently forget about it. But I just like this, just go like this. Okay. Like, what is he even doing? Right? Like, is that even that's a computer that he's working on? What even is that? What's he even out there really doing? Right? You start zooming in on this thing, you're like, holy crap, how did I ever believe in that? Oh, yeah. So even something as simple as the boot, right? Let me get a little zoom in on this boot action here. Boot action. Let me get some boot action. All right, y'all. Some simple shit like this. You can just zoom in on the boot. Now, if something landed on that powdery ass moon like that from above, right? And it came down, you would think that it would create some sort of like a blast crater, and then there would be some dust that would settle up on the boot or anything. But if you'll notice, it's like super clean and clear, like it just set down perfectly on the dusty ass moon, and no dust aroused. I mean, if you even just walk on like a dusty road, it'll like create a dust plume around your shoes and shit. So we're to believe this thing lands on the dusty moon and there's no dust that settles on the boot. Highly unlikely. Hey, look at that sophisticated gold tinfoil shit that they wrapped around there. Oh, you know what else I like is how the horizon of the moon is always just like 10 feet away. And it's just like, it's just gray and then black. It's just a night. It's like gray for 10 feet and then it just cuts off and it's black. So on all the moon pictures, you'll notice that in the background, it's like, look, the shadow stretches all the way to the edge of the horizon. So it's like you can just walk like 10, 20 feet back there and jump off the edge of the moon. Convenient how there's always this like funky looking horizon in the back that just meets the blackness of space. Yeah, man, that shadow just went right to the edge of the horizon up there. So I start with stuff like that, very simple, basic, easy to break down conspiracies. And I even did this. I am the only human who ever did this. Well, actually, there were some people who copied me afterwards, but I'm the one who did this. No one ever thought to put that right there on a t-shirt, let alone call it a homeless tweaker shelter on the t-shirt. And guess what? In the description below, in this very description down there, I have a link for you to buy this shirt. If you want one of these, you can have one. I sell these shirts and you can buy one if you want one. I'm not affiliated with any sponsors or anything like that. I personally made this design and I personally sell the design. It is my own intellectual artwork, which is cool because NASA took the fake photo. So I just used NASA's fake photo. So if anyone was to try and act like space isn't fake, it's like, I got the evidence right here. Look, here's the evidence that space is fake. You want to argue with me when I have evidence that it's fake right here on my chest? Giovanni Giorgio says, I love how China supposedly just went to the moon, but the dark side, total baloney. Yeah, they're avoiding walking on it again because guys like me will make it my personal mission to destroy the footage. I will do several videos. If they ever, during my lifetime, try and pull the people walking on the moon routine, you should know already, those of you who've been subbed here a while, I will make it my personal duty to rip that shit to shreds. I dare them to try it. In fact, I don't think that they want to try it because they know. So what they do is they send robots to the moon. Rovers. Toy cars and shit, right? They can send their toy cars to the moon. They don't want to do the people walking on the moon thing. Not with Jake Asshole still alive and able to speak. So I think they're just going to keep pushing back the date. That's been their favorite thing. Oh, we're going to go back in the year 2000. Oh, we're going to go back in 2010. Oh, we're going to go back to the moon in 2020. We're going to go back in 2025. They'll just keep pushing back the date. We're almost going to go with people. We're getting ready to go with people. But first, we need to send like one more robot crew to make sure. All right. And then when they get there, they're going to conveniently not go to the old spot. It's like, because that would be even harder to be like, oh, where's the 1969 shit? Go back and show me the leftover 1969 shit. Walk around full 360 with the camera. And I want to see people like everyone, lots of videos. Really, really fucking convince me, man. If you're going to go next time, let's see you go to the 1969 site, walk around and look at all that shit. Do it. You went in 1969 and they brought a car. They brought a dune buggy, a car. That's how you know it was like made for like really stupid people. Like, hey, stupid people, you know how you drive a car to work to your slave job? They brought a car to the moon. A moon car. Well, isn't that cool? There's a moon buggy. We'll bring that shit up now. Let me pull up a picture. One sec. Yeah. Look, guys, they took the car to the moon. Of course. Because that's what you'd take to the fucking moon, a car that you might accidentally wreck and bust open your spacesuit and die. You know, if you were to drive a dune buggy on the moon and you were to accidentally, I don't know, topple over and then a rock on the moon was to rip open your spacesuit, I'm pretty sure you'd be fucked real fast and there wouldn't be anyone to help you. And you would be a dead body on the moon. So I think driving a car on the moon was absolutely so ridiculous, but they're tricking sheeple. And so when you're tricking a sheeple, you have to be like, hey, you drive a car? They drive cars on the moon too. Isn't that cool? And then when you're a kid, you're like, I want to drive cars on the moon one day. So they'll make you as a 5-year-old kid think that you can drive a car on the moon. And then you'll think that that's a viable job choice. You'll be like, Mommy, I want to be an astronaut. Your mom will be all proud, like, oh, my boy wants to be an astronaut and drive cars on the moon. Such horseshit. You see why they do that? You see why they want you thinking you can drive a car on the moon? The same reason they want you thinking Elon Musk sent a car to space. Because people drive cars and people are retarded. So they think that there's actually a car that was drove on the moon, and they think that Elon Musk sent a car to space. I've done a video about that too. JM says, you're the real deal, Jake. You know it. I'm the real deal, Evander Holy Not Field. All right. Epirus Alukai, I hope I said that right, says it's weird that we are able to transmit live videos from the moon to TV back then, but we can barely get internet to work in a remote ass areas on Earth. Yeah, there's areas on the freeway between like towns where like my bars on my phone disappear and my video like stops working. You know, whatever I'm listening to on a car ride stops working. So it's funny. Yeah, they had Nixon talking to the astronauts on a landline phone. He could talk to him on a landline phone, and there wasn't like delay or anything. It wasn't like, you know, they're super delayed talking to him. It was like Nixon talking to him in real time on a landline. So hilarious shit. But like, see what I'm saying about like the horizon in the back? Look at those photos, how the horizon meets the blackness of space. It's ridiculous. Car on the moon. Elon Musk sent a car to space because he's so cool. It's another guy. He's just a total puppet on the stage. Don't fall for the Elon Musk shit. He's a puppet. He's a tool of the elites. He doesn't run Tesla. He doesn't run Twitter. He doesn't run shit. He's an actor who pretends to be a boss of companies. That's what the world is. Pretend puppets. Pretending to do stuff that you think they're doing. Meanwhile, it's the government who's behind electric cars. They want to make you think that buying a tracking device that they can shut off remotely and downgrade electronically, they want you to think that that's fucking cool. So they prop up Elon Musk as Mr. Cool, who sends a cool car to cool space. So you'll think he's fucking cool and awesome. And then you go buy a Tesla like a retard. And then they can track you and shut your car down and spy on you in your car and jerk off looking at you while you're in your car thinking you're all alone. But you do what you want. You do what you want. Jane's favorite videos knows what's up. She says exactly. All right. So I started this channel 7 years ago, breaking down fake space and talking about how the Earth isn't a spinning ball. And then that spiraled into me breaking down just all sorts of different news, fake news, and different conspiracies, what have you. And then it kind of evolved into me having to disguise what I say under jokes and comedy so that I could get away with it without having the channel taken out. So this channel has been on the brink of being taken out a few times, but I've always been able to put my videos to private, wait for the strikes to wear off, and just barely dodge being taken out. So I think what's happening now with me breaking down the Hamlin stuff is the NFL has been keeping an eye on me, and so they claimed all of my top 10 most rigged videos. So anyone who watches my most rigged videos, top 10 most rigged series, the NFL's putting copyright claims on all those videos, and they aren't striking me, but they're putting claims on the content. And so I had to go back and trim out all the parts that they claimed. And so if you go back and look at my rigged NFL videos, the top 10s, you're going to see sections missing. You might see a play or two missing. The NFL is claiming my the content and where I show their plays. So I had to trim out parts of their content to avoid these claims. And so I think they're going to figure that out, that I'm doing that, and they might get pissed off. And so at any time they might try and strike down the videos instead of just claiming them. So I'm a little weary to keep making rigged NFL videos the way that I was so blatantly, because the NFL kept claiming them, and they could claim all these videos and then turn them into strikes that fast, and then the channel goes away. So they had like 20 claims on the channel, and I had to go through and clip out little sections to keep the video under my name and not the NFL's name, because they manually are sending a person, not a computer, but they're having a person review the video, claim like 10 seconds, and then all the ad revenue goes to the NFL. So they'll take a 10-second fucking section and be like, that's ours. We get all this revenue. It's not a strike, but we own the video. So I clipped that out. Now my video has a section gone. So now you might see 2-3 sections gone from a video of mine, because the NFL's coming in. So keep an eye out for my next rigged NFL video, but I might have to get a little more creative, like put like a filter on the videos, like make it cartoony looking, or maybe even like have the video like up here and then my face and me break it down, because when I show the plays and I break them down, they're claiming the shit. Dominic with a super sticker. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Skylar Mummert says, you like shrooms, weed, or tweak? Shrooms and weed, yes, but I don't like any sort of speed stimulant. I'm already fairly hyper as it is, so I like the downers to bring me down a little more. So, and I like psychedelics. So yes, shrooms, yes. Weed, yes. Tweak, no. Not for me. Martin Gingerich says they just don't want us dum-dums to see it's rigged, is all. Yeah, here's what I think also with the Damar Hamlin thing is they took a lot of pressure, or a lot of focus, I should say, off of their product being rigged. Rigged NFL was starting to pick up some steam. I had a video back in early December go to 1.8 million, which was, it had never happened on my channel. So my short videos were getting hundreds of thousands of views. I had one of them, like I said, go over 1 million, almost 2 million. And people are sharing those type of videos and spreading the word. More fans are figuring it out that the NFL's rigged. So what I think happened with this Damar thing is I think it's a clever way to not only get a bunch of publicity and attention for the league, but take some of the focus away from the games being phony and rigged and scripted, and like reel the fans back in, if that makes sense. So I see definitely the Damar thing as a very clever way to take any of the eyeballs away that we're talking about rigged NFL, to like take that away and have them look somewhere else, have them talk about something else. All right, CD says research about blood banks. What do they do with all the medical human waste, aborted fetuses? Or why do they drain blood from dead people? Yeah, for sure. I bet that blood is definitely probably sold on some black markets, and evil elite people might want to drink it because they think it's healthy and beneficial. They could use the DNA to create bioweapons against us. I mean, there's a lot of stuff they could do with that if they were evil enough and so inclined. Let's just hope they don't do that. JT says McDonald's adds fetus to meat. Well, the thing is yeah, that meat is weird, and I've heard that before. But at the same time, a bunch of people still eat there all the time, and so I've never seen anyone like organize a protest against McDonald's and be like, they eat babies. It's baby meat. I did a test in an analyst. Look, this is 100% baby fetus tissue right here. So until someone like leads a charge against it and puts their livelihood on it and like has something to show me, all I hear is like, it's baby meat or it's human meat. And it's like, no. Put your livelihood on it and get down there and lead the charge against it and show me, prove it to me. I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility that McDonald's has added some shady shit to their meat. God knows what, right? But I'm also not going to jump on board and say stuff like that without any sort of proof, and without me being like, oh yeah, have I ever like protested or led any sort of charge against McDonald's doing that? No, never. I just think it. All right. What the hell else did I want to share with you guys before I get off today? Oh yeah. Earlier I mentioned they might be baiting you into taking the Bills as a sympathetic Super Bowl pick. Just remember, they could just as easily, if they really wanted to do like a massive energy harvest, they could have the Bills get eliminated by the Bengals in an AFC championship game, or the Bills get eliminated in their very first playoff game or something, or Bills go to the Super Bowl, have everyone talking about how the game's being dedicated to Damar, have the public be sympathetically betting on the Bills, and then they could have the Bills lose. So don't put it past the NFL on Super Bowl Sunday to have, like, for instance, Bills and 49ers set up for you. and then the 49ers demolish them. And they're like, it's the end of the season. We got your money. We got your eyeballs paying attention. Have fun, losers. We'll see you next year, right? So they can easily pull the rug out from underneath you if you think that now the storybook is set for the Bills to win and dedicate the game to Damar. They can easily just have a team, like I said, like the 49ers, who they've been pushing really hard, or the Vikings or somebody, a team they've been rigging a lot of games for. They could easily have beat Buffalo, and at the same, and then everyone leave the stands feeling dejected. You know, big soul harvest. They do it a lot in the WWE. Vince McMahon would book like a good guy to lose to a bad guy in a terrible way, and then the fans would be like, boo, and then that would be the end of the show, and the lights would come on, and they'd have to get up like all angry and pissed off and walk out. Same thing happens for the fans that go to an NFL game and root and get their emotions invested. It's like a soul harvest. So if you go to a NFL home game and you lose, your team loses, and you and all the fans of that team have to walk out with a frown on your face, just know the elites are laughing. Like, it's like harvested your energy. They made you walk out with a frown. They made you feel a certain way in your heart, and they controlled it. They made you feel that way. Then they laugh at you for feeling the way that they made you feel. So to take that power away from them, you have to take away your emotions. You can't let the games matter. You have to realize that those are actors playing a children's game, and the children's game played by adults is meant to rip off sports bettors. So you have to unattach yourself as a fan. And if you want to watch it for entertainment because you're bored, hey, go ahead. Or if you bet on the games and you can't help yourself but to watch, go ahead, whatever. But just know it's a waste of time. It's a children's game. The outcome is predetermined, and the games are fixed and scripted. They're the winner. And if you buy into it and let them control your emotions, you're the loser. Brian Bidding says a sucker is born every minute. Indeed, sir. And there's also that saying like, a fool and his money go their separate ways. So I'm trying to help people not be such big fools. You know, don't assume that this guy collapsed because of commotio cordis. Don't assume he collapsed because of a VAXX. Don't assume that means that the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl. It's their story that they're creating to trick you. So don't put it past them to have the storybook ending not be the one that you had in mind. This is also happening. Yes, Jenny, they're scapegoating the virus damage on the vax, which you can sue them. I don't know if you can sue them for it. But happy for dissidents to think they're safe. Get sick and depopulate ourselves while spinning our wheels trying to sue pharma. Yeah, you can't sue over the VAXX from what I've heard. You can't. I haven't seen anybody like win some big lawsuit over this shit. I haven't heard much about that, so I don't think you can. What they're trying to do is make anybody who's against the VAXX seem like an uneducated idiot who doesn't know what commotio cordis is, and they're basically conditioning the public around you, the sheep around you, to insult you and attack you if you do so. While at the same time, he's not vax injured. He's just faking it. The whole thing's a hoax. That's how they get you. So Jen says, Jake, my teenager told me something about the universal masks. I'm too busy to give a fuck. No mainstream media here and ain't going to comply regardless. But you have heard anything about this? Universal masks? Uh-uh. Let me Google it real fast and see if anything pops up. I haven't heard of universal masks. Oh, okay. I see something that says understanding universal masking. What does universal masking mean? It means that everyone, if able, should wear a mask. There are some exceptions. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, totally against that. Totally against it. I hadn't really heard that term yet. So now that I just looked it up, yeah, I can see that's definitely part of their evil agenda. I should have assumed as such. Yeah, universal masking, that's some bullshit right there. You know what bothered me the most was the minimum wage employees who would attack you when you would try and walk into like Target, for instance, or the grocery store. You walk into a grocery store, they're like, "Excuse me, sir, you can't come in here unless you wear a mask." I hate. It was like, you make minimum wage and your job is to bag my groceries. So go fucking stand there and run a cash register and bag groceries and shut the fuck up. I'm going to come in and shop and you can wear the mask all you want to, but don't tell me what. So I would have guys like in a grocery store try and like act like they're going to come like physically do something to me because they're a bagger boy at the grocery store. No, not going to happen. So that was the thing that bothered me most about the sheeple was like not that they were complying and wearing masks, but the ones who thought that they could like be physical enforcers to you and me. Oh, could not stand that. Almost got myself in some serious trouble, you know, like, and I know it would all be on me if someone in a grocery store tells me I have to leave because I'm wearing a muzzle and they start putting their hands on me. If I was to break one of their noses, then of course I would be the bad guy, right? So I had to like really watch myself and not let my emotions get the better of me in those times. So I got kicked out of a lot of places. I had to stop myself before I did something that I wish I wouldn't have. I read all these. Okay. In fact, I had a video go viral, and I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. If anybody doesn't remember, it wasn't long ago, minimum wage employees thought that they could yell in your face and tell you what to do and grab shit out of your hands and physically assault you. It wasn't long ago. All right. Let me go to my channel and pull up this really good eye-opening video. Here we go. All right. So the video is called "This Video Must Go Viral." All right. And it's on my channel. So the title is "This Video Must Go Viral." And this was during the height of the pandemic when people were assaulting you for not wearing a muzzle. All right. So I want everybody to remember because this could happen again and be prepared for it to happen again. All right. Get ready. You're about to get pissed off.
Here we go. We're at Trader Joe's. We're ready to go in.
Yeah.
Go, 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 go. Wow. Hey, don't touch me. Don't touch me. That's assault. That's assault. You touch me, that's assault. You touch me, that's assault.
Hey, Dave, right here.
What happened?
That's assault. They threw this basket. They threw the basket right there.
You know what?
Get a picture of the basket.
You better
They threw the
get
basket
out of the building.
right there.
And they're thinking.
Real crime.
Okay, awesome. Okay.
You guys are troopers. You guys are troopers.
Yeah, they're 19 cents each. Or the organic are 25.
What'd you get there? You got a bag of chips?
Yep, 249.
All right.
A lady threw a basket at us, a customer.
Oh, customer? Okay.
God bless you.
What'd you get? Okay, you got a bag of chips.
Yep, we got. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's, everyone.
Why are y'all doing this? This is the grocery store. Take your political points over to City Hall.
We love you. We love you. Awesome. So they're $2.
We don't want to have trouble with y'all. Help me just go. Okay, we will.
Awesome. Okay, where's our group?
We got
These are $2.99.
$2.99. All right.
Item.
Okay, we got jazz apples for $2.99.
Okay, now we
Okay.
just want to shop. You have what you want?
You are buying stuff we are not going to serve you, so you know.
Ready?
Yes,
You're wasting our time and everyone else's time.
Get out, guys. Eat a go. So just start.
We will be help so you can leave. Come on.
Get out! Get out! Why do you want to do?
David, what do you want?
Yeah.
Right here. I'm buying these apples. Here you go. $4 for my apples. There you go. And all the lots.
$5. It's only like $4.25. Apples and bananas.
We are not serving you.
No, you're not. God bless you. Breaking some laws. God bless you.
Here's $5 for my
$5. Honeydew. All right.
overpaid.
Okay, wonderful.
Hold on to your melon.
Hey, don't touch my camera. That's assault.
You know what? Christy, be careful. No. Okay, so take your money back. Take your money back. That's mine. I'm sorry.
We're done.
You know what? You're breaking the law. You're my money. You're breaking the law.
You're number one. You're number one. That's theft. Hey, we paid already. Go get your money.
We paid already.
That's nice. No, you did it. You left your money on the counter. I left my money on the counter. That's not pay. I left my money on the counter. That's great. Not paying. I have the evidence of money on the counter. That's great. Go get your money. It's on the counter. It's on the counter. Go get your money.
Refuse to serve you. If you guys want to leave with that, it's theft. There's cops.
Oh, we already paid.
Hey,
We already paid.
I already paid for it. Says who?
Do not touch anything.
Leave.
No,
Leave.
You do not touch
Leave.
anything.
Leave.
Do not touch
Please.
our merchandise.
It's not. You didn't pay. Great. Good for you. God hates your ass. Good for you.
Thank you. You're assaulting. You're assaulting.
You are. I left the money. Yeah, the money's inside.
Oh, hey, no touching. No touch. Oh my God. Oh my God.
No touching.
Yeah,
No,
go fuck yourself.
Got you on camera.
Thank you for letting us shop. Thank you.
Peace and love, everyone. Peace and love, everyone. I'm not sure. I think so. Is everyone out?
I think so.
Yeah.
Hey, please leave. You guys are harassing us now. All right, what point are you trying to make?
We just want to make sure everyone's out. Everyone's safe. Okay.
Is everyone out?
I assume so, yeah.
That's okay. That's okay.
Let's go.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, manager.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Trader Joe's. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Guys, this was our world not long ago. 2020 into 2021. That was our world. It could go back to that real fast. All they have to do is just tell people to do that again. Here's what blows my mind. It's like I still try and think of like, how did they get all of these sheeple to like be so upset that they confront me at the store and like act like this? But then one day you show up and they're like, oh yeah, we stopped doing that. Now you don't have to wear the mask. It's optional. Welcome to the store. Thank you for shopping. So the same lady right there that was like, get me back there, acting like a crazy, muzzled, deranged person, she would then have to let you come shop in the store and then greet you as you entered, like over like a 24-hour period, because there was like a day where this was happening, and then a day where they all got this memo, an email, an alert from their boss. I don't know. Every store across the nation simultaneously stopped doing that all at once. So we went from like going into a store and being greeted to then going into a store and being assaulted if you're not wearing a muzzle, being threatened to thrown out and have people go crazy. And then they all got a memo to stop doing that. And then it was your own option whether you wanted to wear one. And they're back to greeting you at the store. It's very strange how all at once, every one of those employees who is a fucking asshole all realize now they don't have any power and are just back to being regular minimum wage employees. So all these minimum wage employees who had all this power, don't come in our store. They were told one day they can't do that anymore. And then they're like, oh, hi, welcome back to our store. I still wear a mask, but you don't have to. Hi, welcome to Trader Joe's. I don't get it. I don't understand how those people can look themselves in the mirror and be like, oh, shit. I remember when I threw people out of a store for not wearing a mask, and now everyone comes in without wearing one if they don't want to. But I guess since everyone's VAXX'd, it's okay now, I guess. All these measures that they went through, muzzles, get your VAXX, stay 6 feet apart, and all this shit. And now you throw it all out the window, and they're still like, well, it's still a problem, but all that stuff that we did was all just a big giant waste of time. Thank you. It's meant to be funny and informative at the same time. Martin Gingerich says they should have used pay by phone. No, the whole deal was they wanted to take a stand and just go shopping like people. Because at this time, look, there's people waiting in line outside. You know why people are waiting in line outside? Because they were only allowing a certain amount of people to fucking come in. Remember? When they were like, oh, only certain amount of people can come in. And then you'd show up to like Walmart or Target or Home Depot or whatever. And there'd be a line of motherfuckers waiting. And you had to wait for someone to leave the store for then you to be allowed to go in. They'd like only let someone in as someone else was leaving. Remember? They had arrows in the aisles. Like, you can't walk down. You can only walk down this way. You have to stay 6 feet away from everyone or someone's going to throw a fit. Well, what now? See, the crazy thing is like, people are still wearing muzzles, but they'll like go to a concert and be shoulder to shoulder with everyone. So it's like they pretend that like it doesn't really exist and can't really hurt them, but they're still scared of it and still need the muzzle. I don't know. People confuse me. The Asians love their muzzles, but then they'll go to a casino and sit shoulder to shoulder with a bunch of people and think that somehow their muzzle is keeping them safe from the bad guy boogeyman disease. Asians are real bad about that. Oh, I wear my mask. I don't want no COVID. I don't know COVID, no bad. I wear the mask on and no COVID. And then it's like, dude, then you go to a casino and hang out with 2,000 people all around you, and you touch buttons that other people have touched, like, and hang out with people who aren't muzzled. You hang out with a bunch of people like who aren't VAXXed, but you're scared enough that you went and got it and you wear a muzzle, and then hang out with people who, it's just stupid. Of course, the vax people who then test positive for the thing that they're vaxxed against, that's hilarious. I tested positive for the boogeyman disease twice after I got the boogeyman shot. I think I need a third one to make sure that I don't test positive next time. And I know I got a lot of people in here who are new to my channel, so some people aren't going to be ready for my humor. And I know a lot of people are new here who are liking this and are like, where has this guy been all my life? Welcome to the greatest channel in the history of the interwebs. This is the truth, whether you like it or not, whether you realize it or not. I've laid the truth upon you in a fashion that only I can do. And it rhymes, so it has to be true. What? That's right. And I know it's true when I see the laughing emojis, which confirm that, yes, I am indeed the funniest internet personality in the world. Yes, I do rock. I do roll. I like to make you lose control. Yes, laughing emojis indeed. Yes, it's all in the hat. It is. It's the greatest channel of all times. And you know why I know? Because I'm me and I do this. And then when I shut off the camera and I'm looking for something to go watch, nobody's as good as me. I'm really bored because, like, if I go try and find something as fun as what I do here, nothing seems like this. Like what I just did here for 2 hours, if I shut off the camera and then I go try and find someone else who's as fun to watch as me, it just doesn't seem to exist anymore. I have to go in an entirely different direction and watch something completely unrelated to anything I talk about. Because I can't find anyone who talks about the things that I talk about the way that I talk about them. Someone asked what my thoughts are on God. I say there is a creator. This place is created intelligently by something. I don't believe in the story we're told about spinning ball in outer space being formed from a magic explosion that happened for no reason. So I don't believe in the story we're told about evolution or the Big Bang. I believe we are created. However, I'm not a religious person as far as I don't subscribe to any religion because I believe religions are controlled. So I'm just a dude who tries to figure out what the hell this place is while knowing that it is a created place. I just don't know who or what created this place. There you go. So I have a big Christian following because I'm from a stance of creation, but I myself do not preach Christian Bible, or I don't like. I'm not. I'm not considered like a Christian or traditional Christian. However, I have a big Christian following because I speak the truth and I come from a position of creation, and I just admit that I don't know who or what created this place. And I don't get mad at anyone for believing it's Jesus or what have you. So if you're real into Jesus, this is a channel that has a lot of Jesus people. But I myself am not like a hardcore Christian or anything. If that all makes sense. I know that sounds strange that I have a hardcore Christian following, even though I myself am not hardcore Christian or religious. That might sound strange, but it actually is the truth. Thank you, Sunflower. I appreciate that. I know you sent like a super chat a while ago, and I pulled it up, but I didn't read it aloud because it was during a video. So thank you. The super chat earlier as well. Justin Carroll says, what clown you steal that hat from? From your mom, bitch. Oh, because your mom's a clown. So I stole her hat because she's such a fucking fat, ugly clown. And she gave birth to Justin Carroll, who's a bitch. Ooh, burn. Who doesn't know the difference between steel, S-T-E-A-L, and steel as in metal steel? Durr. I know my crowd thinks that's funny. My crowd is going to think that that was hilarious. I think I even saw Q and Fee. Get that one. There he is. Oh, shit. They're coming in so fast. There he is. Q and Fee, PJ Net, Aurora. Hate all politicians. The coolest dad ever. Matthew Northey. Yeah, every once in a while, you know, there'll be somebody in here who just disagrees with everything I say. And then they want to like voice it in the chat. Whatever. If you're here just specifically to troll me, you're a stupid loser. I hope you got jabbed and boosted. And I hope it was the worst concoction possible. Jonathan Marcus says, is China with the New World Order? Yes, they are. Q and Fee says, jabbed in the ass, pieces of shit. Jabba dabba doo. They must be some sort of retard or something, you piece of shit. Hate all politicians says, the world needs more people like you. I agree. That would be a good thing. Jersey Cards 34 says, is Kobe still alive? I would say so. I don't really believe in, miraculous celebrity deaths. If there's a big story tied to it, chances are they just killed the character off in name only, and then they repackaged the character and have them do something else. Or who knows, maybe they get to go live in a land, you know, that we're not allowed to go to. So perhaps they have a continent, some islands out there that we're not allowed to visit. Regular people are not allowed to step foot on, and only celebrities who are part of the club get to go there once their character's killed off. So there might be a place out there where Kobe Bryant and Elvis and Tupac all get together with Prince, and they all circle jerk and watch soap operas together on Celebrity Island. I don't know, but I know that they don't die the way that we're told. And so I was ready for Damar to fake die, and I was ready to call out Damar's death as being a fake death. So if Damar had died, or if he does die, I'll be the first one to tell you that it's bullshit and that he's not really dead. All right, let me get rid of that. Whoop. Martin Gingrich says, do you think Andrew Tate's arrest is legit? Andrew Tate's arrest is a made-for-TV drama. It's a psyop like anything else. Andrew Tate is a government puppet. He looks like a shill to me. The fact everyone says his name, it means shill. If your name is all over everywhere and everyone keeps fucking bringing you up, good or bad, then shill. That's as easy as that is. Nah, bro. No, he's totally legit, bruh. No, he's not, bruh. If they're on TV and their name is on TV, a lot, everyone talks about them. Fake. Here's the thing. I have made some eye-opening videos and brought some huge truth to the table, and not one celeb ever says, man, you guys should check out Jake the Asshole. Never. In fact, if they do send you to watch somebody, it's always a controlled conspiracy theorist. Like if you look at Kanye teams up with Alex Jones. So two controlled shills get together to talk about controlled shill subjects, right? So they'll have Kanye get together with Alex Jones, and he'll be like, oh yeah, the XYZ because of the juice. And it's like, bro, you're a Trump supporter. Like your character supports Trump. And then like I heard Kanye say that Dave Chappelle steals his jokes from Owen Benjamin. It's like, bro, Dave Chappelle has been replaced by an imposter. Why don't you tell the world that Dave Chappelle isn't the same dude anymore? So Kanye won't mention Dave Chappelle's not the same fucking guy anymore and is being played by an imposter. He won't say that. He'll say the juice word, oh, XYZ because of the juice. But then he'll also support Trump, the guy who was the first one to bring you the jab under his presidency. So don't think for a second that I am a supporter of any politician, including Trump. The guy that brought you the jabberoo is just as evil as the guy pretending to be president right now. In fact, I think they've got like computer fake CGI deep fake Joes, and then they have people who pretend to be Joe wearing a mask, and there is no real Joe. So I say a guy named Joe pretends to run this place, this country, but he only exists as far as like a CGI face on screen or actors pretending to be him. But he doesn't exist as far as being an actual man who's the president. So if you haven't heard that one yet, that Joe is not an actual guy, that's what's happening. And if Trump comes back as the president again, he's not going to fix anything or make anything better or put anyone in jail. He'll just carry on with the same agenda. Just slightly repackaged personality. And no, Alex Jones did not pay any Sandy hoax actors a gajillion dollars. Nope. Never happened. Never will. You know what was funny is the video I had about Damar that went over 100,000 views. I had a bunch of sheeple saying that Damar's family should sue me. Seriously, they said that. A lot of them. So the sheeple would show up to my video that went viral the other day, like 4 days ago. Like the minute the Damar shit happened, I made my video within like an hour and got it up quick. So I got to ride the wave of like publicity, I guess you could call it, because like I got my video out quick. I was like one of the only guys who said that it was fake, made for TV drama, and so my first video I got out about it, like right after it happened, just went off, went viral. Thousands and thousands of sheeple commenting. And one of the funniest ones was like, Damar's family should sue you the same way that Alex Jones got sued. It's like, yeah, that's something that'll never in a million years happen. Damar's family sue Jake the asshole for saying that the whole thing's fake. Do it. I think it is fake. Are you telling me that I can be sued for thinking it's fake? You're not allowed to think that it's fake now? I think it's fucking fake. Hey, Damar Hamlin's family, you guys are fake too. Your emotions are fake. You know your son's faking it. I think you're all a bunch of fake-ass fakerooskies. I think you're too chicken shit to ever try and sue me. Send this to Damar Hamlin's family, even though I know you won't because you can't. And even if they see it, they're not going to do nothing. That's how you know Alex Jones' thing was fake. But they got a lot of people to think, oh, I better shut my mouth so I don't get sued. You better not say anything or you might get sued. No, I say it's fucking fake. Come try and sue me for thinking it's fake. We hereby sentence you guilty of thinking it's fake. Jake the asshole, you owe Damar Hamlin's family $100 million bajillion dollars. Yep. Now I'm broke, and I owe all my money I made to Damar Hamlin's family, who must be really fucking rich now that they got my money and his money and all that shit. So good for them. Guess I'm gonna go live in a van down by the river. Oh, did somebody here just stick up for Trump? Oh, here we go. Got a Trumper here, y'all.
Okay? Let me tell you something, all right? That last election was rigged, all right? It was rigged like the NFL is rigged. And when I come back, let me tell you something. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put Hillary Clinton in jail, all right? That woman, you rest your soul, all right? Rest assured, she will be in jail, all right? So next time you go in to vote, all right, make sure that you not only vote for me once, but try and vote for me as many times as possible, all right? Use a fake ID, all right? Rig the voting box for me this time, all right? So that when I come back, I can do my good purpose. Danielson's here. He hates the VAXX that I brought, all right? But he believes that my calling and my purpose are good. You know why? Because I'm a hell of an actor, all right? Did you know that Biff Tannen's character in the movie Back to the Future was based on me, all right? Biff Tannen is Donald Trump, all right? It's the same character. Many people did not realize that, but it is true. And it is because my calling and my purpose here is good, all right? Do you remember when I told Rosie O'Donnell to shut her fat mouth, all right? That was me, all right? Do you remember when I told you that I was going to build a wall and put that woman in jail, all right? Let me tell you something. When I come back, this whole place is going to be running on Trumptricity, all right? Trumptricity is much more efficient than regular electricity. That's right. You haven't heard of it yet. I'm telling you now. The world is going to be running on Trumptricity. Your Tesla is going to be being refueled by Trumptricity. Trumptricity is far more greener than regular conventional electricity, all right? Trumptricity is at least 1.285% more efficient, okay? So you know what that means. You all know what that means. What that means is good for USA and bad for China.
All right. Man, I carried that one on for a long time. There you go, Trumper. Trumper's going to come back and save everyone, guys. The actor on TV and politician who brought the VAXX never told the truth about jack shit. Yeah, he's going to come back and save us. Mark that guy's words. So I do impressions on this channel. For those of you who are new, I do impressions. I am among the best impressionists in the entire world. Some would argue the greatest who ever lived. For instance, I do impressions of well-known celebrities, and then I also do impressions of shills and people who are like fake truthers, half-assed truthers, if you will. So if you've ever watched like Richie from Boston, for instance, he sounds like this.
Richie from Boston here. I gotta tell you, this Damar Hamlin thing has really got a lot of people confused. He didn't die of commotio cordalicious, all right? He almost died because he was VAXX damaged, all right? The Chinese drones, all right, they caught up to him. The Chinese drones, they shot him with a hyperactive VAXX that is undetectable by the human eye, all right? And let me tell you something. If you have not got right with God, the Chinese drones are going to come for you next. So you need to like, share, and subscribe. Or don't. But at any rate, I digress.
So that's Richie from Boston. He got kicked off of YouTube for telling the truth too much, right? Now he's over on bitch-ooting about it. So if you want to go find Richie, he's not on. Well, I think he's still on here, but he only talks about his truck. So now I think he has a truck channel where all he does is talk about his truck. But if you want to see old school Richie still doing what he does, he's over on BitchUte, which people think is not controlled. It totally is. I was on BitChute. I'm still on BitChute, but I don't upload videos there recently because it's a pain in the ass because nobody really watches. And it's still another controlled site with bots and fucking shit. So anyway, looks like somebody's asking for Elmo.
Elmo is going to play for Demar, and Elmo is going to donate $6.66 to the Toy Foundation that was set up by Demar before he got commotio corded. Elmo likes to play with toys, and Elmo wants to play with your toy.
Let me tell you something. I need to tell you something, and so I have to preface that I'm going to tell you something before I actually tell you something. If you have not got the chemical concoction, then you have no freedom. Screw your freedom. You don't deserve to have freedom if you don't take a chemical concoction. What is wrong with you? You need to get down. Get down right now. You need to get to the chopper. The chopper is full of chemical concoctions. I'm going to get the chemical concoction out of the chopper. And right after I get down over to the chemical concoction after the chopper, that is when I'm going to pump you up with the chemical concoction. If you don't get pumped up, I want to pump you up. If you want to be pumped up with the chemical concoction, then you need to be washing your hands all day long. Multiple times you do washing the hands, all right? And you make sure to use the antibacterial wipe. It needs to be antibacterial to kill the virus.
All right. There's another one that I do. time, grind on the nine. I'm a pimpin' and blimp on a shrimp. I'm a shrimp dip, plimpin' and dip, dip, dip. Time, Alex Stein, grind time, 9 out of time. I'm vaccinating in the Lone Star State. I'm vaccinating in the Lone Star State. I'm a grind on the Stein. I'm Alex Stein. I'm the grind and the time on the 9 on the time and the 9. There you go. Dead ringer impression. No, I am not Alex Stein. Yes, that is what he sounds like, I know. Big Jim Truth says, who is this? Who is that last person I did an impression of, or who am I? I'm Jake, the asshole. Alex Stein is a shill juice comedian, and he's a big flaming homo bottom loser who kisses Alex Jones' cock and sells his boner pills. That's who I was making fun of. Oh, looks like the game's close, but I'm losing this bet so far. Oh, well, looks like I might split today. I already nailed Kansas City today on the spread. I had Kansas City covering, but right now Jacksonville is losing by 3. So it looks like I'm going to split today. But I bet every single game tomorrow, and I expect to win more than I lose. I expect to win more than I lose. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Mike says, what do your parents think? My dad reads the USA Today, and he believes every word that he reads, and he thinks that I'm crazy. My mom watches the news, and she doesn't pay attention or care about any of the stuff that I do online. She doesn't even know any of this goes on. When I tell her that I am a YouTuber and I do this, she just is like, oh, okay. But she never watches, has no clue how it even works. But my dad just thinks like saying anything that the newspaper says is wrong is just pure crazy. You've got to be an idiot to disagree with the USA Today newspaper. Like my dad is the last person in the world. I think he's like the last old guy who puts quarters in a fucking machine and pulls out a newspaper and then reads it and believes it. Like he thinks he's smart because he reads the paper and doesn't watch TV. He's like, TV's for dum-dums. I'm going to read the newspaper. Like my dad's old. So my dad like fought in Vietnam. Like he went to Vietnam when he was 18. Like they handed him a machine gun. Kill those gookie goos. They're bad. So my dad like got brainwashed when he was a teenager real bad. And then like he read the fucking newspaper until he like became an old ass man who's like I said, the last guy who reads it. I think the newspaper only exists on my dad putting $1 inside the machine. I don't even know who else would read the newspaper. Do you guys know anyone who still reads a newspaper like in physical form? My dad does. And he thinks that if the paper says it, then it is gospel. Oh, your dad too? Okay, maybe some people out there are still reading the paper because I swear, like, I've never seen anybody like in the last few years besides my dad actually like buy one of those things and then look at it. Misanthropic says my mom refuses to get a cell phone. Well, they are tracking devices that totally spy on us, but then again, I can't do what I'm doing now without being tracked and spied on. So I can't give you guys the truth or make this content unless I have devices. So right now, are they watching and keeping track of all of us and all this? Yeah, but if we don't do it, then the truth ain't going to get out there. At least this truth won't. Andrew Jordan says, Jake, who wouldn't track you? Who wouldn't? Those who don't have any interest in doing so. Who wouldn't? All right. I have a shitload of people still watching, but I am getting tired and I am hungry. I need to get off here, go eat, and I'll maybe put together another rigged NFL video for tomorrow or this weekend or something. So I have stalled on my last top 10 because the NFL had the Hamlin shit go down and they started claiming a bunch of my videos. So I got a little nervous they might try and take me down. So I may, on the next rigged NFL video where I use their footage, I may have to start using like a cartoon effect or doctor the footage a lot so that they can't claim it. Because I'm getting a little nervous that they're going to bring the hammer down on me if I keep it up. Because single-handedly, I'm like basically kicking the NFL in the nuts at a pace I don't think that they can recover from. Like, I think the amount of people that I woke up this year has cost them a lot. If you think of it in dollars, how much I could have cost them by talking about this. They're probably really angry at me for doing this. All right, guys. So until next time, this is Jake the Asshole. Please make sure you like this video and share it. Share my content with people who haven't figured out the NFL is rigged. Get the truth out there. And if you haven't subscribed yet, smash the subscribe button. We like to have fun around here. This is the type of thing we do during these live streams. And for anybody's comment that I missed or any super chats or anything that I might have missed, I apologize. There's 10,000 of them and they're fast, and so I can't read them all. But I will go back and watch the replay and read every damn one of them. So I do read every one of them on the replay. I just don't read every one of them live because it's impossible. So I will get to all your comments and I will see them all. So if you think that like I missed your comment, you're wrong. I will read it a little later when I watch the replay. All right. So I will see you guys next time. So take care and don't let the NFL or the government or the news fool you or dupe you. All right. So take it easy, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.